Madam Speaker, my question without notice is to the Minister for Police and Emergency Services. Will the Minister urge his federal counterpart to declare flood-affected areas of my electorate, such as Ballina, Ocean Shores, New Brighton and Mullumbimby, eligible for the Australian Government Disaster Recovery Payment and Allowance and the Australian Government Category C Disaster Relief for affected businesses? Thank you. For the Minister for Police.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I thank the member for Ballina for her question. In a very, very long way to answer this question, yes, I will, and yes, I already have, Madam Speaker. So I thank her for her question, and I do recognise, as I did publicly when I joined her in Ballina on one of the number of occasions I've been to the Northern Rivers when it was safe to do so, for her support of her community as they went through a very, very difficult time. Madam Speaker, I did say there, and I believe it's appropriate to acknowledge her contribution in this place. I know that she's been supporting the work that's been done on the ground there, and she's also, as I probably learnt when I went there, about the unique difficulties that some of her community members have found themselves in, where they don't just automatically or clearly fall into the box-structured way that the funding, the disaster arrangements have been constructed, Madam Speaker. So when I visited on the last occasion on the 21st of April to the electorate, I had the pleasure of meeting with the Mayor Simon Richardson, General Manager Ken Gainger, very bright and early, and was also joined by Director Mark Arnold. We spent a couple of hours very early discussing the damage and the unique impacts within the Byron Shire, Madam Speaker. And that was extremely helpful, and I'm very thankful to those people from the Council for providing me with such detailed information about the localised impacts and some of the gaps that appeared. And I know how important it is to see the damage firsthand, so you get a proper understanding and hear those local examples of who have been affected and how the arrangements are not assisting them. So what I did, Madam Speaker, as the recovery operation continues in that area, I immediately heard the concerns, so I got on the phone. So at 7:30, during the meeting, I rang Justice Ken, the Minister, when I was with the Council, and raised the issues directly with him. So I didn't wait, I just immediately rang him. And I also, as the question asked, I strongly encouraged him to look at the arrangements for that Shire. And I know they're a resilient bunch of the Northern Rivers. That's been proven to me on multiple occasions. But despite their resilience, they still need our help, and we will be there as a government to continue to help your community as we try to overcome some of these gaps, Madam Speaker. I was assisted by the Parliamentary Secretary, Ben Franklin, who's done a mighty job in the area as well to make sure that the information flow continues to come in addition to the information we got just at the meeting. And I've asked Minister Keenan to once again give consideration to extending the Australian Government's natural disaster funding payments to more areas, and I have specifically asked him to include the Byron Shire for the member for Ballina. And as she knows, the Commonwealth has a very specific, rather rigid set of arrangements declaring natural disaster relief and recovery. They set the thresholds that need to be met, but I think there's more ways, as they say in the country, more ways to cook the something or other, but I won't cook the goose. So I think we need to think outside the square a little bit, Madam Speaker. The state government, on our front, from our capacity, I couldn't be more grateful to all the agencies, whether they come under the Minister for Family and Community Services, from the welfare side of things. They've been enormous. I've heard how terrific and available and accessible they've been. The Minister for Mental Health has, her department and her agencies have done a wonderful job, as has the DPI, Primary Industries, Local Land Services, Roads and Maritime Services, and obviously each and every one of the government departments have been part of that recovery effort. So to give comfort to the member for Ballina, yes, I already have, and I will continue to support the community pushing up to make that consideration more real and tangible as quick as possible.
Thank you. Call the member.